Welcome to Matt's Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. A little bit more homebrew. Joe and Mike Homebrew in the form of their West Coast IPA. Look at that. No fancy names, no kooky badookiness. Just, hey, you're holding a West Coast IPA. What's in this West Coast IPA, you may ask? It's got 82 IBUs, because that's a thing in it. 6.8% alcohol by volume, and it's a decidedly hoppy and bitter, moderately strong American pale ale, showcasing modern American or New World hop varieties. The balance is hop forward with a clean fermentation profile, dryish finish, and clean supporting malt, allowing the creative range of hop character to shine through. Grains: Raw Pilsner, Best Chit Malt, Flaked Rice, Dextrose, Strata Mosaic Simcoe, Chico. The old Chico yeast. A little bit of a hiss there. Give this sucker a pour. Yeah, I was thinking about what glass I wanted to use. I pulled this Maine Brewing Company glass out of my collection the other day. I don't know why, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be perfect. Perfect glass for this. I'm not gonna lie to you. From the check, this is review number 4 of 6. The first one I reviewed, Czech Pils, hyper clear beer. This one, very much so. When you get this level of clarity from Homebrew, it's just absolutely impressive. I mean, that thing is clear as clear could be. You have that nice kind of just beautiful kind of almost champagne-like kind of carbonation to it, and just this nice straw-like color. Pinky finger is white as white could be. Words are hard. Head. That looks like a lager. That looks like a lager. That's how clean that sucker is. So definitely off to a good start. Let's see if we can get a nose on the sucker. Man, that smells really good. Ooh, tropical fruitiness, a bit of citrus, but you definitely get that kind of precursor to those West Coast kind of danky vibes to it too. But it comes off almost like juicy fruit gum, but in a resonance kind of way. That's kind of how it comes off to me. It's a very cool mixture of new school and old school. You get that West Coast kind of vibe in there. You get that kind of, there's going to be a bittering portion of the show there. You can get the precursors of what that's going to be. But you're just so assaulted with that nice kind of juicy, fruity, tropical fruit, citrus combination. And then just this, I know it's people might make fun of me. You can smell the cleanliness in here. You can smell the crispness in this beer. You can tell this thing is just squeaky clean. It just smells like what you'd expect from Sierra Nevada, Russian River. At that level of just aromatic bliss of old school, clean, crisp, clear beeriness, I'm diving in. Cheers, y'all. That's delicious. Man, West Coast IPA is good when it's done right. This is done right. Again, it follows through to an absolute T, from nose to taste when it comes to... My little light just died here. What? My little light just died. It's got unplugged somehow. It's annoying. Anyway, you can see how dark it is here now. Yeah, you could just tell that it has this, like... I lost my train of thought. Sorry. Just this new school hoppiness. It follows through to the tea from the taste to that tropical fruit, juicy fruit gumminess with the citrus. But then when you have that other part of the hop portion of the show, that bitterness portion of the show, has a resonance to it, has a pineness to it, but it's still not like super ultra dank, which I think is a perfect balance with the way the beer comes off. Because when you talk about the malt side of things, which you have going on here, sure, you're talking about rice, you're talking about dextrose, so there's not just a core 4 bill here if you're going to look at those things as adjuncts. It's not grains. I do. It does have a nice malt character to it. There's a nice kind of crackeriness, toasted crackeriness, something a bit decently above what you'd expect from a base Pilsner malt, but you're not getting even close to just a straight 2-row heavy crystal kind of malt. Those elements are there, those vibes are there, but it just has this just hyper clean, hyper crisp, hyper precision like kind of vibe to it. And that's the thing about it. It comes off as just a really, really well made West Coast IPA with old school influence on the hop side of things, but also new school fruitiness. You know, a lot of West Coast IPA doesn't get this juicy fruity. You know, they tend to have a classic kind of citrus to it and lean into those grapefruits. Even a pineapple at times, you can get that. You can get the citrus, but to have that kind of juicy fruitiness, that bit of tropical in combination with that citrus, and have it show so nicely on top of a sharp and razor-like kind of West Coast bitter, piney resinous without being super ultra dank, I think it lends itself to being just a really, really well done beer. Again, you're talking about 6.8%. We're not even in a 7% range here. It's something that has a bit of heft to it, but it's not overly, you know, ABV riddled to where I think this beer, and that's basically what I'm trying to say, this beer drinks more like an 8% double West Coast as opposed to just a straight up West Coast IPA. And that, you know, me living on team low ABV, when a beer drinks bigger than what it is, I'm all about it. This is really good stuff, you know. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. The beers that I've had so far from Joe and Mike have been really some of the best homebrew I've had. I said this in the previous one, and I'm not gonna go too in depth with it. My job here is to talk about this beer as honestly as I can. If it's negative, I'm going to talk about it. You know, the barley wine, it was fine, but it wouldn't blow me away. But the Czech Pils, Kentucky Common, well, albeit not much of a Kentucky Common for me, but a very, very, very tasty beer. And this is really top-notch stuff. I get this from, you know, commercial breweries. I am happy. You give this to me as a 6-pack from Sierra Nevada, as a, you know, classic West Coast IPA with new school hop influence, I'm singing its praises. Let's put it that way. And that's not hyperbole. It's not me just trying to be nice. It's brass tacks truth. I think it's fantastic. We're done. What more do you want me to say? It's just that combination of that nice elevated maltiness beyond that Pilsner level, that nice, beautiful, tropical fruitiness, with that bit of piney resinous that's sharper, not as heavy, and a really drinkable package. One of the better West Coast beers I've had as of late. Yes. End sentence. Homebrew review of the books. Hopefully you enjoyed. Down there if you want to talk about it. Down in the information section you can find links to Mike and Joe's Instagram. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little homebrew right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers, y'all.